Hi everyone, my name's Adrienne. If you're watching me for the first time, I love to share tips and tricks for other homeschooling moms on this site. If you are interested in toxin-free living, I have a whole nother channel where I share tips and things for that. If you need help finding that channel, just drop it in the comments, toxin-free channel. This video is going to be all about letting kids wait. I feel like patience needs to be like a billboard just sporadically through our house and our lives. Have patience. Actually, my 2-year-old actually says that. Have patience. Have patience. And making kids wait is a great way to help them develop their patience. You're not going to give them exactly what they want the moment that they want it, because that's not how life works. And if you are giving them what they want the second that they want it, you're just setting them up for failure in their adult lives, because chances are someone's going to let them down or not do something the way they want it, and they need to have a coping skill and something that they can process through that and not have a temper tantrum. I think that's kind of our problem. There are a few adults that don't have those skills, and they may be showing some signs of that, but that's a whole nother video. So don't feel guilty for making your kids wait. This video has kind of been brought on because I read something somewhere, it was probably in a mom's group, where they were saying that they felt guilty for taking care of their younger kids. They felt guilty that their older kids weren't getting enough school, so they actually stopped homeschooling them and sent them to public school. And again, there is no judgment here, but I believe that the best education comes from the home. You were your kid's first teacher when they were babies. Why all of a sudden does it stop when they turn 5 that you turn that over to someone else? If that is not your calling, this might not be the right channel for you. I'm just putting that out there. But if you think that stopping to take care of your toddlers is taking away from your older child's education, please, please, please reconsider. Oh, it just broke my heart when I read that comment. So I thought I might share some of my thoughts in this video. Changing diapers, refereeing tantrums, cleaning up messes, life happens, right? If you have kids, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Kids have to learn to wait in life. There's always waiting. Even kids who are sent to public school have to wait, right? They have to wait for their classmates to finish an assignment before the teacher moves on. They have to wait a specific time until lunch and specials. They wait on their ride to school, whether you're driving them or they're walking or they're riding the bus. There's constantly waiting. All in our lives, we have to wait. Maybe they have to wait for the teacher to address the behavior that's happening in the classroom, or maybe they're waiting for the one-on-one time that is so few and far between in public school, because just the logistics of it, that the teacher cannot be one-on-one with each child. It's not physically possible. So if you're giving those opportunities to them at home, then as they grow up, they will learn different coping skills, different things that they can do while they're waiting, and they can just learn that patience is just a necessity. It's something that they have to have. We want our kids to be patient when they have to be. Obviously, if they haven't eaten in a really long time, that window of patience is going to be very small. So as a homeschooling mom, I would definitely encourage you to make sure their tummies are well stocked with food and snacks. If that's ever a problem, mine are always hungry, and they don't always have the most patience when they're hangry, but who does, right? So make sure you're feeding your kids, side note there, making sure that they are having enough meals and snacks so that they can have patience and that they can make better decisions. You want to teach them to be resourceful and independent and to take initiative. Find something to do or find something to work on. That's something we're working on with my almost 9-year-old, taking some initiative to do things that she can do without mom's help. She was in soccer for a few weeks, and they had a little soccer season, and we were really trying to get her to, on her own, pick up the soccer ball and go outside and practice without being told. And that's just something that comes from within. Like you have to be motivated from within to do that. So it's kind of hard to teach it, but you want to set your kids up and give them ample opportunities. Maybe you set out something that they can do on their own, so it's visible, right? Out of sight, out of mind. You want it in their sight, in their line of vision, so that when mom is dealing with little sister's tantrum over here, I can glance over here and see, oh, I can go read for 15 or 20 minutes or whatever it is. Or, oh, I can do my math flashcards while I'm waiting. And they just go off and do while you handle the younger ones. I just think that that is a great life skill for them to have, to take the initiative to do something while they're waiting for someone else. It's a great life skill to have. It's a great school skill to have, because even as a homeschooling child, there's going to be times where mom is divided. Unless you're an only child, you have siblings, and mom has to be divided. She cannot give you her 100% all the time. So you have to be a little self-sufficient and a little independent. Obviously, as kids get older, this is going to get easier. You can't have your 1-year-old being independent. So we're talking about like older kids that have to wait for mom to take care of younger kids. I don't believe that that is enough of a reason to cancel your homeschool journey, just because you feel like that's taking away from them. And if it is to that point where you're at the end of your rope, maybe look at other options, like a Mother's Day out where you could take your toddler or a family friend, or hiring a nanny or something of the sort, or maybe doing school at nap time. There's lots of different ideas. And just remember, if you're homeschooling, you do not have to homeschool all day. We do a short little burst in the morning of like 2.5 hours, and then the rest of the day is free. This is nap time. This is when mom has time in our household to get things done, and the others have free time. So you can make it work. I promise. You just have to figure out what works for your family. I also love that my oldest, seeing me take care of my younger two sisters, it gives her that sense of community and that we're all a team. And yes, what we're doing with school is important, but I also have to take care of your sisters and make sure that they are being safe and that they are taken care of and that they are fed. So all of those things kind of come into play. Everyone has a part in this family. We are all important. We are all children of God. We are all equally loved. It's not, you're not loved more because I'm homeschooling you. So it just kind of helps to level the playing field a little bit, I feel like, when she sees me tending to her other sisters, and that they all have a part of mom and they all have some of mom's attention, even though her younger two aren't doing as much school as she is. It just kind of helps to level the playing field, I feel like. And I also try really hard to give everyone a job. They have chores, they have different jobs. Even if it's a small little job, it just gives them like ownership of what's happening. So my 4-year-old puts waters on the table, and my 2-year-old sometimes helps with that. Sometimes she does napkins. Even if it's just a little tiny job, it gives them that sense of ownership. One thing I came across that I'm going to end this video with is it was in a blog or something that I read, that they said it's all about connection over curriculum. A family unit has challenges, but it also has blessings. So you want to make sure that you're making the best decision for your family, and that you're not driven by excuses to abandon what you thought was best for your family just because there's some challenges. Homeschooling is just like anything in life. It is not easy, but it is so worth it. Think about your marriage. If you're married, it's not easy. There's going to be times where you go through rough patches. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to have arguments. That's what happens when you have two different people in a relationship together. It just happens. When those challenges happen, you don't abandon the relationship. You don't make severe, drastic changes. You work through them. And it's the same with homeschooling. So right now, I am in a very tricky spot because my almost 5-year-old is developmentally delayed. So I basically have 2.5-year-olds, and they love to get into mischief together, especially when mommy is busy homeschooling their older sisters. So it is very challenging. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's easy. It is very challenging, but I promise you it is so worth it. And I need to remind myself, just as much as I'm reminding you, to just stop and remember the blessings that come from everyone being at home, and the joy of being together as a family and doing school and life together, even amidst all of the challenges that you face. I just feel like there's so much more of a trade-off, that all the things that you would be losing if you didn't do this homeschool journey. So I hope that was encouraging. And if you have any stories or comments, feel free to drop them in the comments. And I'd love to hear ways that you find time in your schedule to take care of all of your kids if you have multiple kids, especially if you have little ones. That can be extra challenging. But don't abandon your homeschool journey just because you have some challenges with little ones. Please, please, please pray and seek God's wisdom and make the best choice for your family and take the challenges and the blessings all in stride.